ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you.
Hello, joining me from Velindre Cancer Centre. It's been a busy day today in glorious sunshine. Even had a chat with some people outside in the sun on the benches that they have out here. We've had student nurse on board today. Maxine, a Cardiff and Vale cancer support advisor, popped on board, as did one of our regional advice services managers, Rachel, come on board as well. And we delivered Peter, Man Van Ness, delivered some training to Velindre volunteers, and I'm going to let Peter take over the rest of this episode talking about testicles.
I'm Peter Gill. I'm one of the Man Van nurse advisors. What I tend to do is talk to men about various male cancers, particularly prostate, testicle and penile cancers. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about testicular cancer, but thankfully it's a rare cancer. There's only around 2,000 men, just over 2,000 men diagnosed with testicular cancer in the UK every year, and it's known as the most common solid tumour in young men in the UK. And the only real link to testicular cancer, or a man developing testicular cancer, is an undescended testicle. There are several things other than testicular cancer that can go wrong with the testicle. One of them called epididymal orchitis, which is an inflammation or infection in the testicle. A varicocele, which is like having a varicose vein in the testicle. A hydrocele, which is having a collection of fluid in the testicle. And epididymal cysts. About 97% of men will present with a lump in the testicle, and that lump is usually painless. Some men don't have a lump, and about 29% will only have a sort of dragging, pulling sensation in the groin, and that could be a sign of testicular cancer as well. Sometimes some men will get breast swelling, that's gynecomastia, and that's a change in hormones within the body, and it can result in breast swelling. And some men present with just back pain, so that could be the very first sign and symptom. So young men presenting with this really should seek some medical. A family history can have an influence. So if a man's father or brother has had a diagnosis of testicular cancer, he's at slightly higher risk of developing testicular cancer. Sedentary lifestyle, so if you're a couch potato and not doing much exercise, that can certainly increase the risk. Smoking marijuana apparently can increase the risks. If you're white, you're at higher risk, so it's more common in white men than it is in black men. And men with HIV have got a higher risk of developing lots of cancer. Associated risk factors, maybe if you're taller than average, or if you're an identical twin, or if you have a history of having calcium placed developing. A man discovers and reports a testicular cancer when it's in its early stages, it can certainly mean having less invasive intensive therapy. The American Cancer Association recommend testicular self-examination, which is where a man examines his testicles formally at least once a month. I think most men will check their testicles very regularly, informally, but certainly doing it formally. Now everybody says, well, I should examine my testicles, but how do you actually do it? Well, luckily I've got some testicles that I prepared earlier, and what the gentleman should do, or the guy should do, when he's in the bath or the shower, when the scrotum is nice and loose, but the fingertips are also wet, they can make them a bit more sensitive, is get to know what's normal for you. So you would check the body of the testicle, just gently checking the whole body, and it would be you may feel a pea-sized lump on the testicle itself. Often there's little cysts develop in the tubes coming off the testicle, and that can be misconstrued for a lump. But any changes within the testicle, a man should report it to his GP. Check each testicle in turn, and again, just gently with fingertips and thumbs, just gently roll the testicle in the scrotum, feeling for any abnormalities. If a lump's discovered, it's certainly worthwhile seeking GP advice sooner rather than leaving it, because testicular cancer tends to go very fast, so it can spread very quickly. Some men, when they've been to the GP will refer them for an ultrasound of the testicle to look and see what the abnormality is. It may turn back as a simple cyst, and often in most cases that is the case, But if there's something suspicious, the next step would be to have that testicle removed so it can be examined under the microscope, because there's several different types of testicular cancers and they need to be they are treated slightly differently. The main treatment is removal of that testicle, but a cure rate that is very, very high. So if the testicle has been, if the cancer is in the testicle only, you're talking about a 98% chance of complete cure with the operation. If the cancer has moved from the testicle and spread in the bloodstream up to the lung, you're still talking about a high cure rate, and you're talking about maybe 86%, maybe even higher than that, of being completely cured with chemotherapy. If the cancer has spread to the lungs, the liver, the brain and other soft tissue, you still maybe have a 40 to 45% chance of being completely cured with chemotherapy. One of the side effects is kind of an effect on a man's fertility. It would be for sperm storage, and you can certainly store sperm and store it for quite a long time. Some men still die of testicular cancer, unfortunately, but it's much more rare today than it ever was. So the majority of men will have a good outcome despite having testicular cancer. Early detection can potentially lead to less intense treatment, so awareness is really important. So even if you find a lump and you see your doctor and he says it's nothing, and if you're not satisfied with that, seek a second opinion.
Count on you.
Did you know a man may produce an average of 14 gallons of ejaculate in his lifetime?